Well, high numbers of illegals crossing into the United States have taken a toll not just on big cities, but on local communities as well. Innocent people, including U.S. citizens, getting caught in the middle of issues surrounding the cartels and drug smugglers and human traffickers. And in an effort to bring the communities together, the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association is holding an evangelic tour, I should say, in communities along the border that are struggling, like I am with that word right now. The response to the gospel has been reported as record-breaking as people are coming together to give each other hope through hard times. Evangelism is the word we're looking for, and Lucas Miles is going to help me speak English today. It's very exciting, Lucas, to have you back on the program. Well, we're doing our best. Anyhow, what the good news out of all this is that these people on the border are coming together under faith and family and community. What a beautiful thing.
I love this. Look, I've spent some time in Brownsville. I spent some time in Laredo, and of course the border on the other side there in Mexico with mission trips and things in the past. And this is an area, as Graham mentions, it's kind of a forgotten area of this country. And so right now, especially with so much happening at our border, this is a place where a lot of everyday people or even a lot of ministries aren't going anymore. I know a lot of ministries that used to be heavily invested in this area, both north and south of the border, that just won't go there anymore because of what's happened with the cartel and what's happening with kind of this really invasion that's taking place at our southern border. And I'm glad to see ministries pushing in on this. I think this is exactly what we need to start changing the nation, is to run to these areas. It's the run to the fire approach, to share the gospel in places that I think really need it right now.
I agree with that. Well, let's be honest, Lucas. I think most places need the gospel right now. The problem is that churches got empty during the pandemic. A lot of them have not filled the pews back up. We need to work diligently and be steadfast about getting that back to where it needs to be. But along the border, this is an interesting thing. And for the illegals that are here that really just want to be Americans, who just want a shot, who want to work, who want to be part of what we are, look, I get that. And if you can meet under if it's a tent or a church or a building, whatever it is, because a lot of these folks come here with deep faith. They do. A lot of Christian faith, a lot of Catholics that come across the border, obviously. Roman Catholic migrants come in. So if we can meet and break bread together, maybe that's a good place to start with the folks that we would like to keep here, because some of them we do want to keep here. A lot of them we want to send out, but look, there's some good folks. Shouldn't we try to embrace the good ones?
It's so hard to discern what's actually happening at the border. And so, this is why we have to be able to, vet the people that are coming in our country. And there are some people that do want to come in the country for all the right reasons. They want to contribute. They want a better way of life. They want to live that American dream, and they are chasing after that here. We want to create better ways for them to be able to do that legally. I think that, we also have to recognize that there's going to be bad actors. And it seems like there's more bad actors now than ever before that are coming through our southern border. But I think either way, the response to the gospel is the same, is that we have to go there and we have to preach the word. We have to stand. We have to, equip churches in this area. We have to, it's not just going to be one ministry going through and preaching evangelistic crusades. There have to be churches there that can really, take these people in, disciple them, train them, and help them. As long as they are in this country, we have a job to do, and that is to really, help assimilate them as Americans and also to help share with them the gospel.
Yeah, be disciples to them, right? I mean, that's really what we need to do, to share the word. You're exactly right. But no matter what their background is, maybe they stay, maybe they leave, but there is a commonality there, Lucas, and I think it's really important, and I tip my hat to everybody who's involved with that effort. I'll give you the last word.
Look, I think that all of us, I want to speak to the pastors out there, Christians out there that are watching. I know you have a lot in your audience. That look, I think our churches need to be thinking about ways for us to re-engage in missions. And I don't just mean internationally, I think domestically. There's a lot of places like this in our nation that are kind of these forgotten areas. And there might be an area near you that people have overlooked. Maybe it's an inner city, maybe it's a border town. Maybe it's some remote, a place in the countryside. And we need to go to those places, and we need to be people who are sharing the gospel, making disciples. That's our job until Christ returns.
Lucas Miles, thank you so much. Your message is on point, sir. Thank you as always.